Hello class. Today we're going to look at how you would use Kaltura group collaboration to add a slideshow in the timeline in one of the Kaltura videos that I've posted for your class. And I'm starting with Module 6, so you can go in. This is right now I'm in the online Navigating the Few Nexus course. This also will work for the in-live class, and really for any class once we get it all up and running. But we're going to start with Module 6, and when you go to Module 6 under Assignments over here, then you will see that you have the creative assignment or the traditional assignment. Now the traditional assignment, as ever, is a research paper, and you don't have to click anywhere to view this assignment. Just write a research paper on the subject and post it. You know the drill. You've been doing this since like before high school, right? Right, Bugs? Bugs. Oh, Bugs is over there. Sometimes I forget where Bugs is sitting, but he's definitely right there, dancing with glee, because Bugs is creative and he wants to do creative assignments. So for creative assignments, you click here to view this assignment, and you will see that the actual modules for the lecture are here. And it may be that when you come to them, the modules will just be me in front of a green screen turned white, and that's because we haven't finished doing the collaboration. And so,
woodland ungulates, all the ancestors of our modern pigs and
talking, and
chickens
most
and
of
cows.
these,
In the north,
most of these should have, by the way, should have closed caption. If you turn closed caption on, you should have
the
closed
forest
caption.
leaf fall in the fall, built up incredible rich soils during the winter, ready for next.
Whereas I'll have to go and fix that. This one actually should. So when you're clicking on this one, then it should show closed caption, and it'll show some other things like this slide that's here. Now, Kaltura is slow to load, so that is one of the frustrations of using this. That's why I prefer to use video editing programs and make an actual video or insert images. But this is a quicker way to do it, and it's just as well because you
Paralysis for profit.
can do this. And
the idea comes from what is called in economics classes the scarcity
model. So you
model.
can see the subtitles here that'll help you with it. You in Kaltura can make the slide privileged and me small. You can have the slide on one side, me on the other. You can flip them around if you like, and you can have that or just a slideshow
The fundamental
as you're playing. So it's
economic assumption of having seemingly
I prefer a video where the narrator is here and the image appears here, or the full screen, but Kaltura does let you do this. And then what's good about that is that if you were just doing a full screen of the slideshow, then you wouldn't even have to have the lecture. You could use it for your own presentations by scrolling through to the different slides, like this one here, or like some around here's the four-person Oculus. Again, it's very slow, which is its disadvantage, as you can see here. Another quick way to get to a given slide is to come here, and then you can see that at 109 in the videos, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, the video begins with this slide here, and then at 115 it goes to the political economy slide. So you have this ability to go through the slideshow this way. So there's some advantages to using Kaltura, and if you've annotated properly, you can even search for some of the information in there. So with that, you can see that that's what you're going to see as a result when we populate this working as a group. Now, how do you get in to populate these videos? Well, the way you do it is you click on the link that I've provided here. So for part 1, you would click here, and then you see this screen, and you should see some of these same buttons because I've made most of you, I made all of you collaborators on it. Go to Actions and go to Edit. Now this is the same place you would go to add a quiz if you wanted to make a quiz out of the video, or create a clip to make your own little video. But you're going to go to Edit. So Actions and Edit. And when you go to Edit, you will see all these different options. And This option, I've enabled everyone to create clips from this video, so you could make your own and not collaborate on the whole group class project, but work in small teams or work individually. You have that option. Collaboration, you can see here I have listed all of you as co-editors and co-publishers. Please be careful never to hit delete, because that power is now given to you, and that would be a big mistake. It would be a problem for all of us. So stay away from the red. You can use create clip if you want to create a clip to start your own video, but don't hit delete, whatever you do. All right. Then attachments shows that we have a transcript text for it. There's captions already there for English. Thumbnails, we haven't put any in there. You can upload thumbnails if you want to. You would, for example, pick this, say, political ecology, and boom, it goes in. And then I'm not sure what, oh, there it is. It comes up as one of the thumbnails. If you uploaded another thumbnail like this one here, then that would go in, except that that becomes the only thumbnail that it produces. And then auto-generate selects from somewhere in the image. And that's the one that appears when we come to to see what the heck this thing is about, and that's what's showing there. So don't mess with thumbnails. It's not relevant to you, but you can download that if you wanted to screenshot. Then there's downloads. You can download the source. You can download small MP4, medium MP4, high definition MP4. And there's trim video. Don't mess with that, and you can't anyway because it contains captions. You can't trim out the beginning or the middle or the end. Timeline is where you're going to be doing your work. And you can see I've already put in 3 slides. There's 2 things you can add on the timeline. You can create a chapter, and you can say chapter 1, and then you can upload an image for the chapter. I don't generally need to do that, but you could if you wanted to break this up into chapters. That might be interesting. And then up down here is create or upload slides. And that's what I have going here. I have a slide there. I've only put in 2 other slides. I've put in the Horsemen of the Apocalypse slide, which is there. And I have to put this cursor over it for it to show up. It's a bit kludgy. There it is. And I put 4 horsemen and dash Culhane. That lets us know who uploaded that slide. That slide was me. And then I want to put an annotation. I get a quarter point for putting a slide in that I chose. And then the description would be famine, pestilence, war, and what was the other one? What did we talk about?
And gloom to predict the inevitable arrival of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: conquest, war, famine, and death.
Conquest, right, a political thing. Emphasis on war and conquest. Political dimension are considered to be the outcomes of failed food production systems, for example. And if you wanted to give a reference or say where you got that image. So if you did went back to see where the images came from, right there, this is the one we picked. Shocking signs, the 4 horsemen are here. Are we the final generation? And so you could take that URL and copy that and come in, and then you'd say this image from there. And then we have that. And then you hit save. You see that it shows the place in the video where that happened. Hit save. And we have another image over here when we play the timeline. Although it's a little bit kludgy, like I said, there it is there. And I put political ecology and political economy at 1 minute 14 seconds in there. And this slide shows the relationship between political ecology and economy. And of course, that reference was looking through here, and the came from Applied Ecology, New Societies and Cultures. And you can do a lot of interesting reading there about this and how culture, society, and nature are organized. So what you're doing by annotating is letting people know how you, where you got this information. Oh, what happened to my, there we are, we're in here actually. And comes from, and let's put that reference in there, and hit save. Okay. So now you can come through and each person can go through and add slides working, in this particular case, working as an entire group. And then we'll try to break things down so that smaller groups of you are working on different videos and then compare each other's videos if you like. But this is one way to work together. You can go anywhere in the thing to find your illustrations. If you're going linearly through, then you would watch the video and see what images you want to put in.
Today's lecture is about progress in food production, a new wave of ancient practices and postmodern technologies that use less water and less energy, produce less waste, and can even produce more energy. And I believe, to paraphrase Deuteronomy 12:3,
so for example, talking about Deuteronomy 12:3, it's at this point in the timeline. And you know the drill, with Google Images, we can have a lot of fun with this. Deuteronomy 12:3, and you shall overthrow their altars and break their things. Find an image that works well for you. This is hard to read. Deuteronomy 12:3. Pull down the altars of Baal. That's an interesting one. And they shall break down the grass and murder the grass. Psalms. And the thing is, as you're doing this, you actually can learn quite a lot just by going through this. And you can spend as much time as you want to going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. But maybe this is a good one to pick. Let's see how it shows up when it's, yeah, it's not too bad, especially if you were to take the thing down there. But let's go and let's save this image, and that would be Deuteronomy 12:3, and then, oh yeah, it doesn't like a colon in there. So let's go 12:3. Put it into a folder that you've created. I've got Module 6, Progress in Food. And then when you're back in the editing thing, then you're going to go to wherever that is. So there's the timeline where it was. Upload a new image. Click a file to upload. There's Deuteronomy 12:3. Hit save here, but now for it to actually be in, you have to save it there. So I'm going to slide information, and I'm saying Deuteronomy 12:3. This is Culhane who's put this in. That's the point on the timeline. And here I say Culhane paraphrases, and then let's get the actual quote. And ye shall break down their altars and dash their pillars, etc., etc. And put this in there. And then if you want to put the reference in, which is always a good idea, then we could put the website reference. Not everything needs to be referenced. Some things are better referenced than others. So we have that there, and then you hit save, and it should pop it in. And it says an error occurred. Not sure where the error comes from. Let's see, it does say saved, but it doesn't show us where that's supposed to be. Well, it's there somewhere. Actually, it's way over there. Oh, it actually replaced the other slide. That wasn't good. There's the epoch note. Oh, who is that? So this is one of the kludgy things about this timeline feature. Sometimes it's going to drive you nuts because it lags. So if you move it over to wherever you want to move it, you're going to have to save it there. And it seems like I lost my political ecology. And the political ecology was
doom and gloom to predict the inevitable arrival of the four horsemen of the apocalypse: conquest, war, famine, and death. Political economists and
And then funnily enough, there is the political economy slide. Okay, that's weird, but it says that it still has the political economy slide there, and for some reason Deuteronomy isn't showing up. Pretty hard to know how to account for that. We hit save. Should save. See if we can view it in the player. Maybe that was the thing it needs to be put in. Well, there's Deuteronomy, but now the other one is gone. So I guess you need to view it in the player, but I guess I'm going to have to re-add.
Political economists and political ecologists suggest.
So we're on that part of the timeline. We hit this here. It puts in a ghost slide at 119. Pay attention to the numbers, then that will help. There it says 119 under here, and it says 119 there. Let's re-upload the slide that we had for political economy and ecology. Hit save. Say political ecology and economy, Culhane, and then this slide comes from, and let's show where we got it. We got it from here, which was this page there. Applied Ecology, New Societies and Cultures, and then we'll go back in here and political ecology explains much of how natural systems are influenced by politics. And for some reason I misspelled that. And misspelled that. Okay, so now I should be able to hit save. And it says saved, and it's now become dark colored. So when I say view in player, now I should see all those slides here. There they are. So the top slide, the first slide. And so you can go in and populate this. Maybe we come toward the end somewhere and look at putting one in there.
Michael Pollan talks about this in his wonderful book that reframes our relationship to addictive plants called The Botany of Desire.
Okay, The Botany of Desire, that's a no-brainer. That's easy to do. Come in here and put in The Botany of Desire. Michael Pollan. That comes right up because he's famous. And there's a lot of different choices that you can make. If you're in images, which is usually the easiest one for a slideshow, then you can show the appropriate one. It's how you determine which one you want. But I think that let's see which book. This one here, The Botany of Desire. I like this one because it shows marijuana, potatoes, tulips, and apples, which are the big things that he talked about in there. And I'll say save image as, and it's okay, use that botany pick, and go back and hit this slide, upload Botany of Desire. Alrighty. And then say Botany of Desire as your annotation. Culhane is the person who put this particular slide in, so we can get credit for it. And then the website for it, close this, close this, close this. The website for this one, if you visit, was a blog, so that's not necessarily a reference that we want to give. Let's go back to the Botany of Desire at Wikipedia, for example, which tells us about it, and make that our link. And then maybe put, if you want to get more points, pollen describes how plants affect the phenotypes of other organisms, often enslaving us so that we produce more of their offspring. This is akin to the argument of Richard Dawkins in the extended phenotype. So you can show off your other references and the other things you've read here, and then get more points for making those points. The more you put in here, of course, the more credit you'll get. And that's tied to 6 minutes and 45 seconds, which is here. And you can even put tags so that you can use the search page. So if I put if I put in here Botany of Desire, or I put in, so I say what I wanted to find that section in the lecture, and this is where it gets exciting. You can put in Michael Pollan, or you can put in extended phenotype, if you just type it right, or addictive behavior, things like that. Now what happens is that slide is going to go in, and it's there. It's dark now. When you view it in the player, you'll see that the slide is there. When you check here and you move down, there's the Botany of Desire slide. But now you can actually search for the keyword, and if you put in botany, it comes up, and Botany of Desire is there, and then you can click on it and search, and it takes us to that particular slide that you can then click on and go to that part of the lecture.
He points out that you could look at us as the slaves of addictive plants
So
that evolved to control us.
And the idea is to make these lectures as annotated and as information packed as humanly possible. And there's a lot of room on the timeline to do that. That's completely up to you. You guys can all fill in every other word if you want to. Just put your name in and keep on annotating and get your credit for it and make it into a powerful show, so that then when we go back to the actual assignment page and we refresh, then if it works out right, when we go here, you'll see that yes, indeed, our slides are in there, that whatever search terms you had put in will come up, and we can go directly to that slide, and then you can watch that video from there. And this is the best way to actually study, because you're studying through creation. And we can collapse that. We can move these slides over.
He points out that you could look at us as the slaves of addictive plants.
So there's a lot of fun to be had doing this, and we're doing it as a collaborative project, part 1, then part 2. I've posted down here a brief tutorial to help you figure out what buttons to click. This is, as we say, an experiment, so let us know what difficulties you encounter, and we'll try to make this into something that's a showpiece for the school and that can help others. All right, so thanks a lot for your attention, and we'll see you on the other side.